It is yet another absolutely beautiful autumn day here in the Waikato in New Zealand. We have been having the most stunning autumn weather. May has been unreal. I don't think it's rained almost since the beginning of May. We've had about 2.5 weeks that have just been beautiful clear days like this, which has meant I've had heaps of time to be out in the garden planting it out for winter, which is really great. In the past I haven't always managed to get it planted up at this time of year, so I'm really happy that I have this time. Hopefully we've got enough veggies that will kind of see us through a little bit during winter. It won't be everything that we need, but it should be a pretty good amount to not need to do as many trips into town, which would be really nice. So I just thought I would do a little bit of a tour of the garden, what we're growing, and yeah, show you what we've got going on in the garden. So this is our current growing area. This is this is the site of our old polytunnel. We've just pulled this down. We're actually going to rebuild it. Years ago, 12 years ago, when we first put it here, we actually had, right along this fence line here, were huge big macrocarpa trees. So we had to put the polytunnel here so that it wasn't in the shade. But now those trees have gone and we've just kind of got this dead space behind it. So what we're going to do is actually turn it around and run it going back down to the fence, which will then give us some more space here, some more garden beds, which is really exciting. So that's our winter project. But anyway, this is the space we've got growing at the moment. So I've got 6 raised beds and we've just got a mixture of stuff in there that's sort of continually in there, lots of herbs and some flowers, and then I've got some winter veggies over towards the back. So let's have a look in all the beds. This is where I planted carrots, and unfortunately my terrible track record with carrots seems to continue. It's not looking hopeful. I've planted them a couple of weeks ago and nothing. There's like 1 or 2 maybe that have come up, but that's about it. So I think I'm just gonna cut my losses there and replant. I've got some mizuna that I put here just for some nice greens, and then some peas that I planted probably a week ago that are starting to grow. They probably need some fertilizer. This is our strawberry patch that's all kind of just dead and ready to be overwintered. We might move it. I'm not doing much with it now because we may end up moving it. We might end up extending it back into that space next season. I'm not quite sure yet. In here I just put in a couple of little broccolis. I've been covering them up at night with these milk bottles. Just pop them over just to protect them a little bit. And I only planted these a couple of days ago, so they're pretty tiny. I'll probably get some mulch around them. I think there's a little spinach plant there too, and some celery, and then just herbs, sage, chives, rosemary, thyme, and some alyssum. And then I put some more peas in here. They actually look like they've been munched a little bit, so we'll see. I'll give them a little bit of some fertilizer too, and then I might even get some pea straw mulch around them, I think. This garden is all just herbs. I've got mint in here, which has just taken over as it does. I took some terrible advice from somebody on Instagram that said, oh yeah, you can plant mint in your garden and you can just pull it out if it gets in the way. And yeah, I've never been able to grow mint anywhere, so I thought, well, you know what, at least I'll have mint. Oh, I do. I have mint. I have an abundance of mint. I don't think I'll ever get mint out of this garden, but that is okay. We like mint. A little parsley plant here. Oh, and a lettuce. And then I put some shallots in there, which is a bit random, but we'll see how they go. Okay, coming over here. So these are all covered because I've got brassicas in all of them. And the white butterflies are still hanging around because it's been so warm. So in here we've got some big broccoli plants that are probably hopefully starting. No, they're still growing. Not quite giving us any broccoli yet. They won't be too far away though. And I think I've got some cabbages sort of in amongst those. I've got some broccoli, some cabbages. I think I've got cabbages down the middle, broccoli on the outside. So I've staggered these. Obviously these ones went in first. These ones went in a few weeks after. So hopefully that should give us a bit of a continual harvest. And then on this side I've got some beans actually, some beans and some peas. My kids just threw in some seeds on, and a few more cabbages actually. And they've done really well. So it's been a little bit frosty the last couple of mornings, so I don't know how long this will last for. It's got flowers on it, but yeah, I'm not holding my breath that we'll get any beans, but that's pretty good though for May. I just planted it maybe a little bit earlier, so I think next year we probably could try doing that a little bit earlier. We might get a pretty late run of beans. But yeah, these peas look amazing. I think these are just sugar snap peas, but again, my kids planted them, so I don't actually know. And then this tunnel, this is from it was Gubba garden store, but now it's Bug. And they sent me this one and this one actually, which is the polytunnel one, and they're quite cool. So we don't have a polytunnel, so it's quite nice that we've got this, that we can just do a little mini one in the garden, which is nice. Okay, so in here, this is where I had our first lot of autumn brassicas. So we're just left with sort of a few cabbages left. It was full of broccoli. We've picked heaps of broccoli out of there. It's been really great. We've been enjoying lots of yummy broccoli. I didn't have it covered like this, I just had it covered with a net tunnel like that. And they still got a bit attacked, but they did pretty well. So I've got some more broccoli in here. We love broccoli. Broccoli is something that grows really well for us, and everyone in our family eats it. So I just grow as much of it as I can. And another spinach plant there too, and a potato. Oh, I have potatoes. So that's what's happening in here. Oh, and a couple of lettuces. Oh, they need water. And a nice big spinach plant too. And then in here, this is another sort of a mid-run of brassicas. I planted these ones at the same time as those smaller ones actually, and they're looking amazing. So I've got some cauliflowers. I've got mini cauliflowers in the middle. These are the cheddar cauliflowers, so they're kind of, I'm not really very good at growing cauliflowers, so I'm hoping that a random variety I might have a bit more luck. And then again, more broccoli, because we love it. And I just planted garlic in here over the weekend. So I think I've got like maybe 40, 49, 48, 49, 50 or something cloves of garlic in there. And my son was collecting leaves, so I just got him to throw them on here because I didn't have any mulch, so it should work perfectly. There we go. So that is what we have growing in our garden this autumn, and hopefully we'll be able to have just a nice continual harvest of just sort of greens, spinach and broccoli and things like that to see us through the winter. And then got big plans for spring, which are exciting, to hopefully grow a bit more food this year now that we're not going to have a little baby. We'll go up bigger, everyone's sort of getting a bit bigger, so hopefully we'll get a bit easier to do a bit more gardening. And yeah, we've just been enjoying this beautiful autumn weather. Here's my flower garden, which is also kind of dying. Oh, actually there's one more thing I'll show you. I potted up a tomato that's self-seeded in this tomato pot. I've just got it nice and sheltered by the house, and look, it's covered in tomatoes. I don't know how long it'll go for, but it's looking better than my tomatoes did all summer. And I've got another little pot down here with some coriander and some lettuces in there. So yeah, just a few nice things by the side of the house, nice and protected. And yeah, here's our garden.